Okay, Panasonic announced the new FZ300, which I was really excited about this camera coming out because there were some rumors that it was actually going to have a micro four thirds sensor in it. Well, unfortunately, they've gone the opposite direction. They didn't even put a 1-inch sensor in it. They went all the way down to the 2.3 sensor. Anyway, the tiny sensor. It's the same sensor size. Let me go over here to Wikipedia. It's a 1/2.3 inch type sensor, 6.17 by 4.55 millimeter. Okay, so basically it's tiny. And I was burned already once. I bought the Sony FDR-AX33 with the Boss stabilization. It's a Handycam format camera, and it has the same size sensor. And I got a bunch of reviews on my channel, a bunch of video samples comparing it to the FZ1000, which is the Panasonic camera super zoom that has the 1-inch sensor, which I really like. I use it a lot. And then I, of course, have the RX100 Mark IV, which has the 1-inch sensor that I've compared to the FZ1000, and people say the image quality on it is even a little bit better. I think they're both great, but I will not be buying this new FZ300 with the tiny sensor in it. Burned once, I'm not going to be burned again. I do not think a sensor that small is capable of doing sharp 4K video. At least I haven't seen them do it yet. And don't believe the samples that you see put up that look super sharp and all that. They've probably had a lot of post-processing and perfect lighting and so on and so forth. But you get in low light with one of those tiny sensors or even moderate light and it starts falling apart real quick. And I'm just not pleased with the FDR-AX33 with that size sensor. So I won't be buying this one. And what I would recommend is that you wait and see what Sony comes out with. My guess is they're going to come out with an update to the NEX7. It'll probably be called the A7000, and it should have an APS-C size sensor in it, should have internal 4K, should be relatively affordable. It'll be a pro body, so it's not going to be cheap. It's not going to be as cheap as this thing. This thing's $600, but tiny sensor? Are you kidding me? I'm not going there. So I'm going to wait and see. Sony's already announced the RX10 with a 1-inch sensor with a I think it's about a 24 to 200 zoom, f2.8 constant, and that's if you want a super zoom and that's enough reach for you, that's a good option. The FZ1000 is still for sale, and it goes out almost to 600 millimeter zoom in 4K mode because it crops in, so it's about 37 millimeter to almost 600 millimeter. And again, I have a lot of sample videos on that camera on my channel here. So I just want to give everybody a heads up. I'm not going to pre-order this camera, and I would not recommend rushing out and doing so with this tiny sensor. I think you're really going to be disappointed. Anyway, thanks for watching my channel, and please subscribe.